Thank you, Dan. If you like what the UK Column does, you'd like to support us, support.ukcolumn.org is the place to go. You can make a donation there or join as a member. And if you do join as a member, we absolutely encourage you to do that. That helps us, but it also gives you access to UK Column News Extra. You could pick something up at the UK Column shop. And if you buy something from clivetokar.com using the link on this page, we do get a small percentage of that order, and although it doesn't cost you any more than that. But if you can't do any of that, please do share the material you find on the UK Column website. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of that material in a second. There are share links on the pages for you to use for the main platforms at least. Tonight, let's see, where are we starting? Tonight at 7 p.m, Jerem is speaking to William Ramsay about Aleister Crowley and his massive influence in Britain and the world, in fact. So join us at 7 p.m. for that. It looks like a massively interesting conversation. And Paul Atherton.
Yeah, tomorrow at 1 p.m, Paul Atherton, who is a fellow of the Royal Society of the Arts, talking about the meltdown that's happening at the RSA, the Royal Society of the Arts, on account of the new management and trustee board that have come in and are basically taking the institution to pieces.
And I'm just going to apologise for the typo on that. I've left an H off, so I believe. So,
sorry, Paul.
Sorry about that. Okay, thank you. And Diane, let's come on to some of the latest articles on the UK Column website.
Yeah, here we are as commissioning editor, and I will say this again to everyone. If there are any viewers who are out there who would like to submit a pitch for an article to me, you can send that to me directly at diane@ukcolumn.org. We're constantly looking for new content, and a lot of this comes from our members. And this is just some that have been published in the past few days. Some of them have been discussed by the news because some of these are by our presenters, including this one by Charles Mallett, The Steel Trap, talking about British steel. That's a really interesting and relevant and timely article. So if we can just go through a few of these pretty quickly, Mike. This one is a companion article to an interview that Brian did with Ross, who is a Christian in Cornwall. So there was a video interview with Ross, and we also decided to make it into a separate written article because he provided a lot of extra information about the pushback that they're doing, rightfully so, in Cornwall and the Christian churches there. The next one we have up here is the Blair-Bush project in Syria that brought Al-Qaeda to power. This one is very detailed. Sorry.
Sorry, Dan. Tell us more about it in 1 second. I just wanted to mention in passing that as a result of this article, Vanessa spoke to Diane Sayre in the United States over the weekend. It was an absolutely fantastic interview related to this article. So also go and listen to that. But sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, that's really great to hear. This is a very good article, a lot of detail and some really excellent evidence. A great piece by Vanessa, and I hope it goes a long way in getting views. The next one we have is people's reactions to opposing trans ideology. This one is just kind of a comment or a sort of piece on Steve, who is also known as Edge of the Matrix on YouTube. And he's got some interesting stories that Sarah Newland was sharing and writing up. And she's been in close contact with Steve, talking about what happens when he goes out onto the streets and talks about, is trans real or not? Some both positive and negative reactions, as you might imagine, from people out in the cities, especially in Manchester. The next one we have here is Schools in Wales, a hostile environment for teachers and learners. This is by Martin Edwards, who's a longtime contributor to UK Column. Some completely shocking evidence in this particular article about how both students and teachers are behaving in schools in Wales. And from what I've heard, Wales is not unique in this situation, but it is quite shocking to read it and look at the evidence that he's provided. And we've got one more here. This is by Hugh McCarthy, who I have interviewed previously, and he's written a series of articles. This one is called Remove or Rewrite the Current Government Guidance on Relationships and Sexuality Education. He is in Northern Ireland, and he is actively campaigning in Northern Ireland and up in Stormont, actually, to try to get this changed, especially considering the recent Supreme Court decision that says women are biological women, and that's the end of it, and saying that the current guidance that's being provided in schools, not just in Northern Ireland, but throughout the UK, now goes against that that ruling by the Supreme Court. And one piece of evidence that I'm just going to highlight quickly from the article, it's particularly interesting from the UK government when this was created, this diversity guidance that says, it was created under Theresa May's administration. So this is not new, to show that they were doing this EDI strategy back from 2018, as early as that. So this idea of the trans ideology and all this being just under Labour in the past few years is actually not true, because this has been going on for quite a while.
Just another reminder of the Sounds Beautiful Festival coming up in June 26th to 29th in Wimborne and Dorset. And Diane, we object to the geoengineering experiments.
Yeah, just 21st of June, once again, some of our friends from UK Column, Sonia Poulton, Mark Devlin will be speaking. So get down to Hyde Park if you can.
And finally, in defense of libraries.
This is a talk I will be doing the 12th of June, unfortunately the same day as the Fernethi hearing in Scottish Parliament, but I will be at the University of Buckingham talking about why we need to save libraries and what's happening to them. The tickets are free, so please join us if you can.
Thank you, Dan. Now, let's